Hi again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora, and so today I am out here on a really nice day trying to get the rest of my tulips in the ground. As you can see, there is snow on the ground. We've already had a few rounds of snow. Our temperatures got really cold really fast, and so I haven't been able to get the rest of my tulips in the ground, but today it's in the 50s, and I am hoping that this raised bed area is thawed enough that I can dig this out and plant my tulips, because I bet I still have maybe 1,000 tulips to plant. I don't even know the exact number, and I don't even know that I'm going to go to the extent of really labeling everything. I just want to get them in the ground as fast as I can. The other thing that I need to do is something with my peony roots. If you saw a previous video, you heard me talk about the fact that I got a building permit to put in a high tunnel. So I am super excited. I really wanted to get that in this fall, but with the temperatures dropping so much, I don't think I'm gonna get it in, but I have all these peony roots that I need to do something with. Now, the peonies were not going to grow on the inside of the high tunnel. They were going in a bed right along the side of the high tunnel, but they need to get in soil. So I wanna show you how I'm going to pot those up just so that they make it through the winter so I can transplant them in the spring. So anyway, the first thing I need to do is dig out this bed, then we'll get the tulips planted, then I will do the peony roots. Okay, so far so good. It's a little bit chunky, but I think that I'll be able to dig it up enough and break this apart and it'll be just fine. So I'm gonna get all of this dug and then I will show you how these go in the ground real quick. Okay, you guys, so I got my trench dug. It starts here and it goes all the way to the end of the bed. So I probably have about a 20-foot trench. When you plant bulbs, you want to make sure to plant them 6 inches deep. In my trench, it starts about 2 feet wide and it maybe ends 3 feet wide. I just kind of dug out what I could. The ground was partially frozen, but I was able to chop it up with my shovel really good, so I think it'll be just fine. And I'm not going to go into excessive detail about planting these tulips because I already did that in a video, but I just want to show you guys where these are going, and then you'll be able to see in the spring where I planted everything. I am going to put some fertilizer down. Now, normally I would use bulb tone. I'm out of it, so I'm going to use this flower tone that I have on hand. It's better than nothing. This will just give it an extra boost in the spring. So I just want to sprinkle it over the soil in the trench. Then the first variety I'm going to plant is called Orange Princess, and I know that I have 100 of these. The rest of them, honestly, I think I'm just going to spread in. Some of them are mixes. I pretty much just want to get these in the ground. So tulip bulbs, when you plant them, you want to make sure that you put the point up, the roots are on the bottom. And when you plant tulips for cut flowers, they're treated like annuals. And I really talk about this in depth in my previous tulip video, so I will put that in the link below in the description, and I will also link it at the end of this video so you guys can take a look at that. But tulips, when you're doing them for cut flowers, are treated as annuals. And when I'm planting these, I'm putting them in the trench like eggs in an egg carton. All right, I'm gonna get these planted, this box and another box inside, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so my tulips are planted. I think maybe I have 400 or 500 in this area, which is great. However, I still have some tulips inside. So I think what I'm gonna do with those is a different day. I'm gonna plant those in crates. I'll probably do a separate video on that. And then that'll take care of all of my bulbs for the season. So next on the list is to take care of those peony roots. So let's go do that. Okay, so it's time to plant my peonies. Now my plan again for this was to put them in a nice long bed that was on the side of my high tunnel. Since I have not gotten my high tunnel in yet, these have to get in the soil to winter over. Otherwise they're gonna dry out and they're not gonna be any good. So my plan for this is to plant them in these bulb crates. Now this is what my tulips came in. If you get tulips in these crates, save them because they are so handy. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this with soil just like a planter. I am not going to put landscape fabric in the bottom of it because when the snow gets on top of it, I do want it to drain if it needs to. So I'm gonna fill this up with soil. I'm gonna plant my peony roots in here. It doesn't matter how close they are from what I have read, because basically I'm just wintering them over. They are not going to live in this crate next year. In the spring, once I get my bed made, they will be transplanted right away. So first let me show you what kinds of tulips, what kinds of peonies I have. I have 2 boxes. The first ones I got from the wholesale group that I buy from all the time on Facebook. Wholesale for the small scale grower. A guy named Jake runs it. And in here I have, it looks like 7 peony roots. Now I like to buy the ones that are the 3 to 5 eye. That just gives you a little better start on the peony growth. You can get some that are, I think it's like 2 to 3, but it will take longer for the plant to develop. So I like to buy the bigger ones that are the 3 to 5. And from Jake, I purchased 3 of Kansas. Oh, looks like I have 5 of Kansas and then 2 of Shirley Temple. So those are the ones from him. Then I ordered some. Now these were a little more expensive. I didn't get wholesale pricing on these, but these are from a company called Hollingsworth Peonies. This is a small peony farm. All they grow is peonies. And these are packaged nice in soil. Oh my gosh, they are growing. There are growth points in here. That's so fun. And roots. So these have been in soil. Clearly those are happy and ready to go. So let me find my invoice for these. All right, so I have 2 Early Glow, 2 Coral Charm, 1 Bowl of Cream, and 1 Sarah Bernhardt. Those are going to be absolutely beautiful. And I definitely do not want to lose these peonies over the winter because look at how awesome those are. I really want these to grow next spring. Now I can already see 5 growth points on just this one. So anyway, the soil that I'm going to put these in is nothing special. It's just one that I could find at a growing center this time of year. So I'm going to fill this up. I'm actually going to do this on the ground because since I'm not putting landscape fabric in, it's making quite a mess. Okay, so I have this over a bed that doesn't have any bulbs growing in it, and I'm gonna leave it in this spot for the winter. That way, if any soil continues to fall through, it's just gonna go in this bed. So I have this filled, maybe 3 to 4 inches with soil. And then what I'm gonna do, now, I am not a pro at this. I have never done this before, but I have been reading a lot about it, so there's my disclaimer. But I'm going to lay these in the soil, and they all have tags on them, so I'm gonna know exactly what they are in the spring. Look at those growth points. These are beautiful peony roots. I'm gonna have to use 2 crates because I know they're not all gonna fit in. Oh my gosh, look at that one. This one I might have to dig a little deeper. I'm putting these in here because I want to make sure that the eyes are covered with at least 1 inch of soil. That way they will be protected from the winter cold. There's just one more in here. There we go. Okay, I think I got them all. So here are the peony roots in here. This is the only one I'm a little concerned about. There we go, that's better. All right, I'm gonna use this soil that came with them. All right. And then I can still see the growth points, so I need to top this off again. I need at least an inch of soil above the growth points, if not 2 inches. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this all the way to the top of the crate. All right, a little more, I think. I'm comfortable with that soil level. So I would say that this crate is ready for the winter. Now, this soil does have quite a bit of moisture in it, so I am not going to water these today, but I do need to make sure to keep a little moisture on if we don't get any snow. These are going to be outside with the normal climate, so if it snows, same with my tulips, that is going to be its moisture for the winter. Last year I planted some tulips in crates and we had 0 snow, and I didn't even think about watering them, and they did not do very good, just because these really dry out more than the actual moisture in the ground. So I just need to watch these and make sure that they don't really dry out over the winter, but basically, I think they're gonna be just fine living here like this. So I'm gonna go get one more crate. I'm gonna set it up here, fill that with the tulips that I got from Jake's group. Tulips. I keep saying tulips. Peonies. I'm going to fill that up with the peony roots that I got from Jake's group, and then that project will be checked off my list. Now these came in wood shavings, and these are a little bit drier than the others. I think they're gonna be fine, but I may water these in just a little. These wood shavings, I'm not gonna let these go to waste. I'm gonna put these on my compost pile as a brown. So you want to make sure that you can use everything you possibly can, especially when you're making compost. Okay, all of my peonies are tucked into the soil, and they should be just fine. And in the spring, once I get my high tunnel up and my bed done, I will be able to transplant these just fine, which I am so excited about. Now, just another thing about peonies really quick. Peonies you are not able to cut off for probably 3 years. And so another reason I am really anxious to get these in the ground is I'm going to have to wait that long before I can cut off of them. So it's a long process, but it's definitely worth it. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for another video planting more bulbs in crates. I want to show you my process I'm using this year for that. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.